Hey YouTube, TI community worldwide, I trust you're all doing well. It's been a little while, or a few more longer days than I expected since my last video. I've had quite a eventful last sort of week or so. From my previous video, the day after I came down with a bout of man flu, which I'm sure you women can appreciate, and also yesterday I had some very sad things happening and going on. I actually lost my best friend yesterday, my pet dog. People might sort of say, "Oh, your best friend," etc., etc. You know, I had this wonderful little puppy from the age of 8 weeks old. Here's a picture of my Ted. You can all see who I'm talking about. That's Ted. The reason that I want to talk about Ted today is I just want to make people aware of what these parasite gangstalkers have done not only to myself but also to poor Ted over the years. When the targeting began all those years ago, the advert stuff was probably about 7 years ago, I suppose. Started, you know, all the home invasions, but it actually started with Ted being poisoned. He ate something, I'm assuming, that was put over the fence by one of the wonderful neighbours that live alongside me in Canterbury Road in Ashford. Ted then collapsed, and I rushed him to the vets, where he was touch and go for a few days, and the vet really couldn't give me any explanation as to what he'd been poisoned with. That's where he remained for 6 days and 6 nights in the intensive care unit. And £2,000 bill later, he recovered, and being the strong lad that he was, he managed to pull himself through it and get over the poisoning event. It wasn't long after the poisoning event that all of the home invasions and all of the nasty stuff that I've talked about in previous videos started. And they terrorised my dog. I mean, they not only did they terrorise him, they physically beat him round his head. At one point, I came home from work to find all of his face down one side had been smashed with something, and that actually left him with permanent eye damage. Again, I took him along to the vet, and the kind vet said, "Don't worry, Shane, it doesn't notice that much," which was yeah, very, very consoling for a pet lover. Over the period of time when all of it all really started kicking off with the home invasions and stuff like that, Ted really did take the brunt of the harassment and the treatment that these guys do to things that you love. What I'm trying to say is that these guys will actually have got no limits as to how low they will go to actually attack you personally. So if it's a pet, if it's a member of your family, if anything that you love, they will attack and destroy. Ted got over the beatings. He was terrorised and tormented for I dread to think, you know, only God knows what they'd done to that poor animal while he was alone in that house when I was living alone back in the early days of the targeting. It got to the point where he literally wouldn't leave my side. You know, he didn't want to be left in that house alone. After I was poisoned, that was when, if you've been watching my previous videos, you'll know that I was forced to move in with my elderly mum, and basically live like a refugee in Ted and I in a spare bedroom. So you guys, you really need to understand that anything that you've got around you that you love, you need to protect it as best as you can, and you need to keep it around you as much as you possibly can, because these guys will attack and try and destroy anything that you love and hold dear, which is what they finally achieved with my Ted. Ted was nearly 11 years old. He was a 5th generation blue Staffordshire Bull Terrier pedigree. He came from an amazing line of Staffordshire Blues from Ireland, and they destroyed my dog, you know, and effectively I'm blaming them for the death of my dog. Ted died yesterday of cancer-related symptoms. He finally gave up his battle, and well, yesterday morning I knew there was something quite not right with him. He started having epileptic seizures, which, as you can imagine, the trauma that not only he went through, but myself went through from having to cradle him through that, was probably one of the most dramatic and traumatic things that that I've ever encountered, and there was no option other than taking away his pain. Yesterday he carried on having severe seizures. The vet believes that he may have had some kind of brain damage from the first one that had blinded him, and it was very sad. I will miss him so much. He was my best friend, and I don't want to get too emotional. We're on a bloody YouTube video, but yeah, I seem to be a little bit lost at the moment without him. As you can appreciate, any dog owners out there can appreciate what I'm saying. Any TIs out there that have got pets and can pretty much, I can guarantee you, understand what I'm saying. It feels like I've had my heart ripped out. And I'm just hoping that over time my heart will heal. It doesn't make me feel any better, no matter what I do or whatever people say to me. You know, I've had some fantastic support. There's especially through Facebook, I put a little memorial up for him, and my page just blew up. I mean, seriously blew up. You know, hundreds and hundreds of comments and reactions and likes, and you know, I'm just absolutely overwhelmed. There's a lovely little lady called Victoria on Facebook who's been an absolute rock. You know, I've never met her personally, but I know that she's a good person. I know she's a good person through the way that she's been supporting me over the past day or so, with kind messages and yeah, thank you so much. You know, I appreciate not only you, Victoria, but I appreciate everyone that has taken it on themselves to try and give me a kind word and some emotional support through this traumatic time that I find myself in. As you all know, you know, this program thrives on trauma. They want you to have you traumatized by anything and everything, and it's not easy, you know. Having lost Ted yesterday, you know, I've never felt like this. You know, I've never felt like that. You know, it feels like I've had my legs cut off. You know, it's heartbreaking. You know, I keep sort of like walking around the place waiting for him to jump up with one of my socks in his mouth like I used to on a regular basis. So yeah, just TIs, just be careful of your pets, and if you can, try not to leave them alone, because they will get in and they will traumatize, they will attack, and they will poison your pets. Not only dogs, but any pets that you may have, that they will, if you hold it dear to your heart, they will try and destroy it. to get at you. It's all part of the trauma based issues that this programs run on. So yeah, not very, not too much of a light-hearted video today. I just wanted to make people aware that these guys will attack anything. They will, not only will they attack you, but they will attack anything that you hold dear. They live to destroy. You know, they live to deprive. They live to have you living in complete negativity constantly. You must rise above it. You've got to rise above it, because it's the same as I've said in previous videos. This is the sink or swim scenario. No matter what they do, no matter how hard you think that things may be for you, you need to give yourself a reality check and understand what they're doing, why they're doing it, and then overcome that. It's not easy. It's going to take me a long time to get over what happened to Ted, and yeah, of course I'm going to blame them for losing him, you know, or for at least for the trauma they inflicted on him, you know, the physical trauma that they put into that poor little dog. What kind of person does that? What kind of even what kind of coward does that? You know, these guys break into your home, they terrorize and physically attack and poison and destruct and it's I'm lost for words again, which is not too which doesn't happen too often for me. But yeah, I'm feeling the loss. I'm definitely heartbroken. You know, I lost my best pal yesterday, and he's been through every step of this with me, and has then incurred the wrath of these cowards more times than I even want to think about. You know, like I say, you know, God only knows what these animals done to my poor dog while I was when he was left on his own back in the early days. But Ted's gone now, and hopefully over time I will heal from the loss and the trauma. You know, I've been traumatized. I won't lie to you. To have your best friend of almost 11 years convulsing and having seizures on your very lap, and having to watch him go through that was well, just heartbreaking, absolute heartbreaking. So he's in a better place now. He's not in any pain no more. You know, the cancer literally had engulfed his whole body. I mean, whole body. You know, he had tumours in his brain, he had tumours on his stomach, he had tumours on his legs, on his head, on his back. And he was it ate him alive. You know, it basically ate that poor little dog alive. I'm not going to start chucking hands and waving accusations about how the directed energy or the electronic harassment side of this program may have caused these things in poor Ted, because I don't know. I can't prove it. All I know is that that Ted's gone now, and it will he's left a big hole in my life, and hopefully over time that hole will mend, and I can move forward in a positive manner. I'm probably not going to be getting another pet, purely because I know what these guys are like, you know, or I'm not going to say guys, these animals, cowards, parasites. You know, if they've done it to Ted, then they'll do it to another. So it's probably safer all round that I don't get myself another dog, not just yet anyway. When these animals are in prison and we've all had our day in court, then things might be different, and I might feel a little bit different about that. But up to now, you know, it's too raw. I'm not going to. I'm definitely not going to put another poor soul through through what they put Ted through. So yeah, today's just a little bit of a tribute to my best pal, and I'll miss him tremendously. And like I say, you know, he's they can't get him no more. They can't harm him no more. His pain's gone now, and hopefully he's in a better place, and playing up there with all the other little doggies and puppies that have passed over the years. And yeah, that's makes me feel a little bit better that he's no longer in pain, and knowing that, you know, these guys can't get to me through my pet anymore. But they will try and do that. You know, just take a little bit of notice of what I'm saying. You know, these people have got no shame. They will attack and destroy anything that you hold dear. If they can't get to you, they will get to you by any means they can possibly find. So take care of your loved ones, and take extra care of your furry friends, and keep them safe. You know, don't allow people to get access to your pets, and because they will get them. They will attack them. They will harm them purely to get you. That's all it's for. You know, it was nothing against the dog. It was against me. You know, and to get to me, they went through my dog. So yeah, so that's basically what I wanted to say today. I'm not really feeling up to talking about too much more. You know, I'm still very sore and very sad about what happened yesterday, and I'm sure it'll take time but time's a good healer, as they say, and hopefully over time I'll get back to my full steam ahead. I did manage to get down the gym today and have a bit of a workout. It was a bit of an angry workout, I won't lie to you. I was chucking some big old weights around in there, and people was noticing. Let's say. But got some great pals down the gym. You know, some fantastic support from some of my friends down there. You know, I mean, it just shows you, you know, what these guys are trying to get you to believe, is that there is no one out there. No one can help you, but there are. No, not everyone's involved in this. You know, it's like I've mentioned in previous videos. Since I came to Sheerness, most of the, if not all of the outside harassment has nearly virtually dissipated. You know, I get no bother from the constabulary here in Sheerness. You know, they're very well behaved, and I'm sure they do a sterling job. The only problems that I get now is issues with vandalism on the vehicles and things to that kind of respect. So, but don't, you know, you need to get out of the fault pattern that everybody is involved in this program, because they're not. It might feel that way, you know, and I know, because I felt the same way back in Ashford. You know, it felt like the whole bloody world was against me. And but it wasn't. You know, there are some really good, true people out there that wouldn't even take a look at getting involved in this kind of hellish crap, because that's all it is. It's a evil, satanic game that these guys seem to love playing. And they play it to every means that they have at their disposal, whether it means attacking you or your pets or members of your family or whatever, you know. But there are good people out there. You know, there's a tiny percentage of people that are involved in this in this disgusting program, and the isolation makes you feel that. There is no one else out there. But I can assure you, you know, I can guarantee you that if you start coming out of the bubble that they force you into. You know, go to the gym. You know, go if you're into sports, go and do your sports. If you're, I don't know, if you want to sing in a choir, go and sing in a choir. Go and live your life. You know, don't let these fools, and I mean fools, don't let them dictate to you. Don't let them rule your life, which is what they want to do, because they have no right to do that. So yeah, testament to dear Ted, and a big thank you for all of the comfort and support that I've received from the hundreds and hundreds of comments and gestures that I've received over the past 24 hours. It's been overwhelming, seriously overwhelming, and I thank you all from the bottom of my heart. So I'll leave it there, and I'll get back to you soon. Not quite sure when. I've got a couple of days work coming up, so hopefully that will take my mind off of what happened yesterday with poor Ted, and hopefully I can get back to you guys and with some more information and comments and my observations of this pathetic game that they seem to like playing on us in the next few days or before the weekend. So I trust you all well. Stay strong and protect yours and your own. You know, look after the people and the things that you care about and you most hold dear. Look after them, protect them. Don't let them out of your sight. If you don't have to, don't let them out of your sight, because as soon as your back's turned, these parasites will get in and they will get to wherever you hold dear. So yeah, that's it. Keep your chins up to your eyes. Thank you, YouTube, for allowing this content to be shown, and yeah, I'll catch up with you all again soon. So yeah, bye for now. Take care to you guys.